Hey friends, it's Brookie from SustainablePrepping.com, a fear-free emergency preparedness community for normal people. And today I'm bringing you part 2 of our evacuation kit video. This is my top 25 recommendations for your evacuation kit. Just a reminder, evacuation kits are different from go bags because evacuation kits are assembled and kind of things added to them for a specific season, whereas go bags are always ready to go. Number 12, pack a mini first aid kit. Now this does not need to be extensive. You don't need to have massive wound care. I suggest that you have a pretty robust first aid kit in your vehicle at all times, but you're not going to probably have space for such a robust first aid kit in your evacuation kit. I think a small first aid kit with band-aids, antiseptic of some kind of healing cream or ointment, a burn ointment, gauze and tape, gloves, right? Those things are key. And then things like anti-diarrheals, anti-nausea medication, maybe like cold and flu medication, and maybe some kind of body aches or headache medication, whatever works for you and whatever works in your body best. Having a few of those things to get you through, again, 3, 4, 5 days until you're kind of in a more normal situation is the most important thing. You don't need to pack out an entire CPR kit, probably. Now, if you're someone who is a medical professional and you want to have those things in your kit because that allows you to be more helpful to the people around you, all power to you, go and do it. But for the average person, just have a small kit. You can do it in a Ziploc bag. You can get small samples of all of those at like a dollar store. Do that. Have a more robust first aid kit in your car so that it's available to you if you're leaving in your vehicle, and just add that in just in case. Number 13 piggybacks off of number 12, and that is to have backups of your prescription medication. Now, some of these things are going to be a lot easier to get than others. So for example, if you're on birth control, you're likely going to be able to get 1 or 2 months backup of your birth control. Most places don't control it that tightly. But if you are someone who has to take a highly controlled medication, like a pain medication, for example, this might be more challenging. Go ahead and start talking with your doctor now and seeing how you can build up a 1 week, 2 week, 4 week or more supply, and go ahead and have that backup packed in your kit so that you're not having to worry about where it is. It's already there. You already have some backups in case you can't get into a pharmacy. If you have a controlled substance and you know that you can't get much of a backup for it, have a plan in place in the event you can't get more. Is it something that you need that's a life and death situation? Then maybe start talking to your insurance about getting a backup now. Seriously. I mean, make that a priority. If it's something that just makes your life better, then maybe start figuring out what you could do to stave off, whether it's staggering your medication, taking it every other day. Have that plan in place. Go ahead and spend some mental time thinking about it and have that plan in your bag so that you know what you're doing, you know how to progress forward, you're confident in the face of an emergency, and that will give you clarity and peace of mind. Number 14 is to have a headlamp and a flashlight. Now, I prefer headlamps to flashlights because it lets you be hands-free, but just make sure that you have a headlamp and a flashlight with batteries stored separately, all in plastic baggies that you can use in the event that you don't have electricity. Number 15 is a weather radio, preferably with a solar charger. You can get something just like this with a weather radio attached, or you can get a hand crank weather radio, but particularly if you are someone who's evacuating because of storms, which is a lot of people, you're going to want to be able to track that storm. You're going to want to be able to know when it's safe to come home. And if your cell phone is dead for some reason, or the cell phone towers are down, you will still probably be able to pick up radio signals. Having a weather radio, particularly one that can do double or even triple duty, is going to save you a lot of headaches and stress. I'm going to link one down below. It's going to be one of these all-in-one deals, and I hope that it will help you. Again, solar charger, weather radio deal, and a water filter. If you're going to only order 2 things, go get those right now. Number 16 is a printed out map of the surrounding area. Now, it is best if you can get one of those waterproof maps, but if not, just print one and put it in plastic. You need to have a printed out map, not just with the highlighted route that you want to take, but with all the roads in the area. One of those big atlases would even work, because if your intended route is covered with debris, if your intended route is cut off, if your intended route is crammed with traffic, if you want to get out faster, you are not going to be able to use your cell phone. Your cell phone is probably going to either be jammed because so many people are trying to use the data, could be taking you on the most common routes and not showing you everything. So having a paper map in your pack, in your evacuation kit, ready to go, means that you can look at all the possible evacuation routes and help get your family out and into safety as quickly as possible. And here's the other thing. If you're taking a less known route that frees up space on the road, it means that everybody taking the more common route has one less car, right? One less group of people that are getting in their way. So it works for everyone. Another thing to keep in mind is that depending upon where you live, you may want to have maps that show walking routes as well in the event that roads are covered with debris or are jammed with traffic and you really do need to get out pretty quickly. So keep that in mind. Again, that's going to be based on your particular area and your particular evacuation issue that you're worried about. Number 17 is feminine hygiene products. Now, fellas, if you're watching this, don't turn away. Don't say this isn't for me. Having feminine hygiene products can not only help women that you may end up encountering while you are in evacuation mode, but also a pad, a feminine hygiene pad, is super absorbent and can help with any kind of first aid. So it can actually be a part and incorporated into your first aid kits. A lot of people will incorporate these into kind of make at home gunshot wound kits. Now, hopefully you're not going to have to use it for that, but if you do have someone who's cut themselves and is bleeding quite a lot, you can use a feminine hygiene pad as an absorbent kind of gauze-like tool there. So men and women, you know, people who have periods and people who don't have periods, have some feminine hygiene products available. Just stick them in your pack. They will come in handy, I promise. Number 18 is a Mylar space blanket because it will keep you warm and is very efficient to pack. So definitely have a Mylar space blanket for every person in your family. Number 19 is a rain poncho, and for the same reason as a Mylar space blanket, have one for every person in your family, particularly if you're evacuating in storm season of any kind. Having a poncho to keep your clothes dry is going to be super helpful, and they pack up real small, so they're really super efficient to have. Number 20 is a spare set of eating utensils. Now I know this seems super strange, but let's say you get to your evacuation site or you get to a hotel, you've got your Mylar bag full of food, and then you realize you have nothing to eat it with. That would not be very helpful, would it? So definitely make sure, even if it's just one set, y'all can share, right? Have at least one set of extra eating utensils available, stuck in your pack, preferably metal, not plastic. Now, kind of a bonus going along with number 18 is to have a really good knife, like a utility knife or a multi-tool, because you're going to want to be able to cut into anything in Mylar. You might want to be able to cut through cord or rope if you're making a lean-to shelter, or if you're cutting gauze or medical tape, you're going to want something that can rip pretty quickly. So find yourself a good sharp utility knife or multi-tool and add that in. Number 21 is blister care. Now I know I've told you to go ahead and get good socks, but just in case you don't have them, or even with good socks you get blisters, blisters are the worst and they can get infected. So have good blister care, not just blister band-aids that are specialized for blisters, but also a needle and a lighter that can create a sanitized lancing kit so that you can pop the blister, get the liquid out, make sure it stays clean, and then take care of it so it doesn't get bigger and more infected. On that note, number 22 is a lighter, waterproof matches, and a small fire starter kit. You can put these together super easily. You can use lint from your dryer. You can use cotton balls soaked in Vaseline as fire starter, but just make sure you have some waterproof, particularly matches, and or a small lighter. So if you do need to start a fire, you have everything that you need. You don't need a huge fire kit, but you do want something. All right, number 23 is toilet paper. Don't get caught without it. Have some kind of toilet paper, whether it's a big roll or several small packs of tissues, but definitely pack something that will function for you as toilet paper. Number 24 is wet wipes. Wet wipes are great for a quick cleanup, whether it's because you don't have the water to take a shower and you want to hit the hot spots, you're cleaning your hands of any kind of gunk on the road, you're cleaning your face, you're cleaning a baby. Wet wipes go and can be used for all kinds of things. So definitely keep a pack of wet wipes in your evacuation kit. And finally, number 25 is morale food. Absolutely make sure that you have space in your evacuation kit for morale food. Now, morale food could be a little bit of chocolate, depending upon where you live. So, you know, you don't want it to melt all over your stuff, but it could be a little bit of chocolate, could be some Jolly Rancher, some kind of hard sweet candy. It could be coffee. That's right, you can have freeze-dried coffee in your morale kit to make sure that you don't have to go a morning without your caffeine fix. You could also have a couple bottles of airplane alcohol. Yep, that's right, little bottles of alcohol stuffed in your kit. It's your kit. And if that's something that's going to help you feel better and survive and have a better emotional and mental mindset once you get to where you're going, absolutely give yourself those little treats. They matter, because your morale, your mental and emotional well-being is going to dictate how you get through this crisis. All right, friends, that is it for part 2 of the evacuation kit video. Comment down below and let me know, what would you add to this list? What is missing from my top 25 evacuation kit list? Now, y'all, I have basically 50 things I could have said, so I tried to really narrow it down to the top 25. I hope you guys are all doing well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can keep getting videos from me. I will see you next time. Bye.